Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini. Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri 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 Krishna Sharanam Mama. Sharanam Mama. Sharanam Mama. Sharanam Mama. बोलिए राधावर श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। When Arjuna requested Sri Krishna to take his chariot and place it in the middle of the battlefield, in the no man's land between the two armies, and when Krishna placed that chariot right in front of Bhishma and Drona and drew Arjuna's attention that these are the people you have to fight against, Bhishma, Drona. So suddenly one who was so very positive, enthusiastic, optimistic, he suddenly got into this pessimism. He started doubting everything. He doubted his own strength, his own ability, his own... But all these things are expressing as pity, as though he has got a lot of pity, as though suddenly he has developed a lot of dispassion. This dispassion we all, when we don't get something, when it is very difficult to attain, when there is a lot of struggle involved in getting anything, we suddenly get this dispassion, detachment, this vairagya. What is there? So here Arjuna is also talking that language. What is there in the kingdom? What is there in the pleasures? What is there in this life? What is there in victory? Kim bhogai jivitena va. What is there in living? So this pessimism has taken him so much, consumed him so much that now he is almost speaking the language of suicide. He is saying, even if they kill me, I don't mind, but I am not going to kill them. And if this is the language one is going to talk on the battlefield, and that to a trained soldier, then the country is in trouble. So here, Sri Krishna is just letting him vent out, letting him kind of throw out whatever is there within him. So all his thoughts, his expectations, his imaginations, and now meeting with the fact, all his disillusionment, everything is coming out, along with all the other thoughts he used to have in his life. And now he is talking about, I don't want victory, I don't want to live, I will not kill them. And he himself defines and accepts that these people are like terrorists. They are criminals. They have done all possible crimes. They have tried to kill us in so many ways. They have poisoned, they have burnt our homes, they have snatched things away from us, used their weapons. All these things they have done that a criminal would do. And still, even if I know, but then I don't want to, we will incur sin if we kill them. And then he goes on to conclude that therefore, tasmad narha vayam hantum dhartarashtran sabandhavan. We should not be killing our own relatives, these sons of Dhritarashtra. Can someone be happy if they kill their own relatives? And you see, so Arjuna is, he's so right, it is so true. Yes, it is true. But are these people relatives? And in this context, at this time, are these people relatives? The basic definition of the word relatives is not applicable here. And then you are saying killing relatives, who will be happy? Yes, killing relatives, nobody will be happy, but these people are not to be considered as relatives. This definition is very important. Sometimes in society also, the one who is punished, they start playing the victim card. I am persecuted by the government. A criminal proved that he is done something, and now the judgment is passed, some punishment is awarded, and then he is saying, I am a victim of persecution. What persecution? But what have you done? What is your record? Is this the way you treat a human being in society? That publicly you hang that person? Is this humanity? But the point is that person considered as a human being? Yes, you should not treat human beings like that, but has that person lived a human life? So here the basic definitions only are wrong. And then he's saying, no, we cannot. And then this very popular pacifist argument. They are not able to see the point out of greed, but at least we know what is right and what is wrong. So even if they fight, we should not fight. And when we study the Gita, listen to the Gita, and that time, because it is Arjuna's case, we become very intelligent suddenly. We say, yeah, this is wrong argument. Should not do this. This is not the way you think. But when it comes to our life situation, we often speak this language that now Arjuna is speaking. They are not able to see, so they are doing okay, but at least we are able to see. Kulakshaya kritam dosham prapashat bhir janardana. We are already seeing it, and those who are seeing it, how we can take such measures? Oh no, we can't fight. They should not be getting involved in this. So let them do whatever they want to, let them do everything that is wrong, and I glorify it. I say, I am non-violent, I am a peace lover. Go to a terrorist and give him a rose. We are brothers. Come, embrace me. Under his jacket, he will already have a live bomb. He will embrace, and that's the end of us. He doesn't care. No. We can see the point. We should try to establish peace. Sometimes this doesn't work. And peace dialogue, Sri Krishna also tried. Sanjay also came from that side. Krishna also went from Pandava's side. All that attempts have been made, it is all failed, and finally war has been mutually agreed upon. That was the only outcome, that was the last outcome. Sri Krishna, to the extent that he said, no problem if we compromise the deal. You give 5 villages, that's enough. Don't give the whatever is the rightful thing. Okay, don't give the kingdom, don't give half the kingdom also. Just give 5 villages, that is also fine. I am compromising the deal. To that extent he tried. He was a peace lover. So Sri Krishna tried his best. His people didn't give in. They said, I will not even give you an inch of land. And with that arrogance that it actually does not belong to Duryodhan. But Duryodhan said, I will not give you a piece of land. Do whatever you want to do. Let us decide on the battlefield. Okay. And after all this, having prepared so much, even when Sri Krishna went as the peace messenger, Arjuna did not like, what peace, and at this time, it is already decided, we should have the war. What is there? But of course, he was devoted to Sri Krishna. He said, yes, whatever you are doing, you are more intelligent than me. Do fine. He agreed. But after all these measures failed, everything, when it has been decided, they have already gathered, the war has been declared, and at this juncture, if you suddenly start feeling pity, start feeling dispassion, and this is not real pity, real dispassion. These are all virtues. In the name of virtues, we are camouflaging our weaknesses. We are cowards and we camouflage it with tolerance, peace loving. Because I can't stand up for something. I can't voice out. Sometimes we glorify to them, I just forgave them, What is it? Maaf kiya. As though I had a choice. I saw an opponent, he's a huge 7-footer wrestler. He's come. I forgive you. Go. Do you have a choice? So my fear, my cowardice, I have covered it up with forgiveness. I don't believe in violence. If that same person was a puny little fellow, we would have bullied that guy. Because all that is there inside me. Here this huge army is what is intimidating, and that too Bhishma and Drona standing right in front of him, that is intimidating him. And Sri Krishna knew this very well. So these were all hollow arguments. It seems like suddenly you say that what is there in victory, what is there in the kingdom, what is there in all this pleasure. We find, very evolved seeker. He is not interested in the kingdom and the pleasures. It seems as though he suddenly has developed vairagya. He should be given Upanishad knowledge now, immediately. Why? Because so much of vairagya, it doesn't come easily. So lucky. This is not real Vairagya. It looks like as though he has suddenly developed dispassion, but there is no dispassion. So he's saying, we can see what destruction this will bring about, and knowingly how can we get into this? We can't do this. And then now starts Arjuna's step by step, complete understanding of what this war can bring about. The entire destruction of the dynasty means what? Why war is not an option that is chosen? It is a last resort. Why? What? All destructions. Because sometimes we feel, just finish it off, have a war and finish it off. We will sit in our drawing rooms sipping a cup of tea and we can say all these things. We do not understand actually what is going to happen to the society. So here what Arjuna says, of course it is out of place, but what he says, it has things that we can ponder upon, learn from. So here, verse number 40. Kulakshaye pranashyanti Kula Dharma sanatanaha Dharme nashte kulam kritsnam Adharmo bhavatyuta. What will happen? So there is a series of steps. Okay, why are you so scared of? Now you have come here, come on, now fight. You have prepared yourself for this. When the families get destroyed, all these people perish, what will happen? Kulakshaye pranashyanti. When the family members die, perish in this war, so everyone is dying. Then what happens? The whole dynasty is wiped off. Then what happens? Pranashyanti Kula Dharmaha Sanatanaha. Sanatanaha Kula Dharmaha Pranashyanti. All the Kula Dharma will be destroyed. Now what is this Kula Dharma? Kula means family or dynasty. Now every family has certain traditions, certain practices, certain beliefs which all the family members live by. So these beliefs, these practices, these traditions, which is called broadly as dharma, dharma cannot exist in books or in places of worship or as knowledge. Dharma has to exist in action, in the life of those who practice it. So when we say protection of dharma does not happen by protecting libraries. Yes, information and knowledge about dharma, clarity about dharma, that can be got by reading books. Yes, possible. Understanding of dharma is possible by reading. By discussion, etc. Yes, we can get some kind of clarity about dharma. Yes, possible. But dharma can be protected only by practice. So there have to be people who are living by those values, those beliefs, following those traditions, and only then that dharma is protected. So if I have to protect dharma, I have to live it. That is the best way of doing it. So when the family members perish, so these members who are following these traditions, belonging to this family, all those practices will cease to be. Nobody is practicing now. Suddenly there was a whole family of so many hundreds of people practicing something, and suddenly it is wiped off. Now nobody is practicing it. So all those traditions have come to an end all of a sudden. This is what happens in a war scenario. If natural death happens, yes, the elders, they have already passed on the knowledge and the practices to the next generations. So therefore, those generations are still practicing. So the elders, because of age, etc., when they pass away, it's okay. So then at least the traditions continue. But in a war situation, what happens? Here 7 generations are there in the battlefield. So which means the whole family is going to get wiped off. Then who will practice? What will happen to all those beliefs and traditions? So if there is no family, no tradition, how does it matter? Now that is why this word he has used, Arjuna has used, Sanatanaha Kula Dharma. When did these practices begin? When did these traditions begin? What is the source of these beliefs? If we actually find out, the source is in the Veda, because our culture is rooted in Veda. And Veda is beginningless. It is not at one point of time that some Veda was created. Beginningless Veda. So the values are beginningless. The knowledge is beginningless. And all these practices have been taking place. People have been doing all these things for generations together. We don't even know when this started. Kula Dharma. And Kula Dharma need not be some ritualistic thing only. There are ritualistic things, aspects also, yes. Every Kula has a Kula Devata. So there is a deity, which is a family deity. They are associated with that deity. There are certain rituals, there are certain things annually they do. They get together in one place and all. All those, that part is one thing. There are some basic beliefs as a family tradition that one meal a day we all sit together and eat. Such simple practices we are talking about. In our home, the younger ones don't raise their voice in front of their elders. This is a practice of our family. In our family, we wake up early in the morning, we are supposed to shower, etc. Do our sadhana, daily sadhana, only then we get to eat or drink anything. This is our family tradition. So tradition need not be that ritualistic part. It can be some basic beliefs also. Without prayers, no breakfast. Our rule at our place. This is a family tradition. This is what we all follow. Simple things. So once in a week, we all spend some quality time together where we exchange with things with each other, and so something like that, whatever. A visit to a temple or something, we all go together once in a week. Some such kind of thing. And families have these kind of things. Some families say that we light a lamp in front of the altar morning and evening at the time of dawn and dusk. We have this as a tradition. So this is a tradition. Now what happens by such beliefs and practices when we keep doing that, staying at home with the family? Let us say, this is a very common scenario. All of us are, we are facing this. We are actually seeing this. Suddenly, a child grows up and then has to move out of the home to some other city, some other country for pursuing higher studies or some job or something like that. So, gone there. Now, if that child is grounded well and is a part of that Kula Dharma, even when the child goes away, that child, certain beliefs he or she will continue having. Certain practices they will also try doing. They may not be able to do exactly what happens at home because environment may be different, but they will try doing it as much as possible. Daily prayers, yes, daily prayers. There may be, my peer environment does not allow me to sit and pray. Okay, but at least somewhere secretly I will sit and pray. At night I'll have the blanket over me and I sit and do Hanuman Chalisa and then I'll sleep. Even if the environment is non-conducive, I will do it because I am connected. And what happens is, because of that, there is a sense of belonging. So my identity is not restricted to who I am. I'm talking about the transactional identity. It is not just who I am, but also a very important aspect of my identity for me becomes whose I am. It is a very important part of my personality, my identity, for me. Others may not recognize it, that's not a problem. So what happens is, I am so and so, but I belong to so and so family, so and so tradition. I do this, these are my core beliefs, these are the daily practices. So what happens is, that sense of belonging gives me a sense of dignity. And when the sense of dignity is there within me, I will never fall or slip. It will protect me. Now, you must have heard this statement, dharmo rakshati rakshitah. Dharma protects the one who follows dharma or who protects dharma. Protecting dharma means following dharma. So those who follow dharma is protected by dharma. So that this statement we must have heard, dharmo rakshati rakshitah. So one who follows this is protected by these traditions, these beliefs, that I belong to this family. I cannot fall from that dignity. It is not suitable. I can't fall to that extent. No. And it is not, nobody is supervising me. Nobody is standing there with a stick in hand and says, don't you do that, don't you. Nobody is doing that. Nobody, now external checks required. From within myself only, I know that I cannot fall to a lower this thing. I am, because I belong to that tradition. I belong to that family. This is a very important aspect that Arjuna is bringing about. These practices, these beliefs, these traditions are very important. We may say there are certain traditions and this thing which are completely meaningless. What about that? So if they are meaningless, then why should we follow? Why should we keep doing that? The point is, who decides whether it is meaningful or meaningless? On what basis? How much have we researched? How much have we gone deeper to understand what is the meaning, what is the significance of it, what is the purpose of it, what is achieved through it? How much have we gone deep? How much have we understood a tradition or a belief? What will happen? What will I get if I do Sandhya Vandanam every morning and evening? What will I get? And the scriptures say you will get nothing. That is your reward. But if you don't do it, you are in trouble. Some actions are like that also. What will I get by breathing? All the time, why should I breathe? Luckily, it is not, the responsibility is not ours. It happens automatically. Otherwise, we will question also, what is happening? I am already living, why should I breathe? You will not get anything extra by breathing, but if you stop, something will happen. Others' work will increase. Because you have gone already. Others will have to dispose of. So what will happen? What is the meaning of this? Finding out meanings of things is good. Understanding the significance is very good. It is healthy. But we have to try and find out from the right source. Just little bit of superficial thinking and maybe discussing with few people who are equally ignorant and coming to the conclusion that it is meaningless is actually not wise. What is the point of this tradition? We have been doing it so many generations. The point is, because of my ignorance or my foolishness, one day I decide I shall stop doing this. Stopping takes just one moment. But it has continued for generations together. So many generations have continued it and passed it on, and it has reached me. And today suddenly I say, I don't understand the meaning of it. There is no significance. Stop. Modern thinking. Well, we are very pragmatic. This is useless. All these. meaningless rituals. We have stopped. No, in olden days, there was no electricity and all. That's why they used to have oil and wick and they used to light a lamp and all. Nowadays, what is the use? We just turn on the light, electric light. That is enough. Why do you light a lamp? What is the need? I'm sure here also many people must be thinking, yeah, that's true. We never thought about, yeah, good thought, yeah. Why should we waste our, all this oil and everything and so much of smoke and then all this sticky thing and dirty everything? Why? Leave everything, just one tuck. May there be light, and there was light. It is so simple nowadays. Olden days it was not there, so therefore they were lighting lamp. Now why do we need? There are so many different levels of explanations. I'm not going into why we are lighting lamp, but basic understanding is from one bulb you cannot directly light another bulb unless you understand what electricity is. But from a flame, another lamp can be lit. It is very symbolic. In the spiritual explanation, Puja Gurudev very beautifully explains this symbolism of the lamp. The lamp stands for the body. In that, there is this oil, which is our so many lifetimes of fruits of action, vasanas, our desires, all these things. So all that has to get exhausted. And that is a sticky part. It doesn't leave very easily. And then there's a wick in that. That wick stands for the ego, I sense. I am the doer. I am the experiencer. I want this, therefore I will do this. I have done so much. I have achieved so much. So this I sense is the wick. And that wick is completely ignorant. It is dark. When that it is ignited with the light of knowledge, what happens? All the vasanas, the desires, the tendencies, all that gets exhausted, and ultimately the ego also is burnt off. And in that process, there is only light. Not only for the lamp itself, but all around it there is light. There is no darkness of ignorance anywhere around. Such spiritual significance, will we get it from the electric light? Forget about all this significance and philosophy. Okay, put it all aside. Simple thing. The effect of this flame, sit in front of that flame, sit in front of the altar, lighting a lamp which is having a flame, and just turn off all the lights and just sit there. What happens to us with that light? And as against, turn on the light and sit in front of the altar. What happens? What effect does it have on the mind? That itself will answer this question, how important this is. It is a direct experience. We need not even go into philosophies. It's a direct experience. But we keep on saying, oh, what is this? Why should we do all these things? It is so easy to do this way. Why can't we just use electric lights? We are using many places. But certain things, it has that effect on our mind. A flame always moves upwards. There's never a flame that goes downwards or sideways. It always moves upwards. Constantly inspires us to elevate ourselves. Knowledge is that which will take us higher and higher. So it is a direct experience. Don't even need to go into philosophy. So these are basic practices, and because we are not able to comprehend, we are not able to understand the depth of it, just because of that we stop doing it. That is a great loss for us, and not just us, but for society, because such a beautiful tradition, because of us, has discontinued. So we must maintain. Maybe it may not be possible exactly as our forefathers did. Okay, possible, but little bit, some part of it, some way we can continue. It is possible. There are certain things that have come, as superstitions and all, some kind of customs which have come in, crept into the social fabric, unfortunately. Yes, because of some misinterpretation, some evil, intentions of certain classes of people, and because of that, there has been some misguidance that has come up, and because of that, lot of wrong practices or meaningless things also may have crept in. Yes, but just because of a handful of meaningless practices have crept in doesn't mean that we discard everything that is going on in the name of tradition. That is why we have to keep practicing and simultaneously try to understand its significance also from a source that is valid. That is very important. It cannot be my own logical thinking. Logically, this doesn't make any sense. But maybe the logic won't work. The logic that I know won't work. It may be another way of thinking that I don't know, I am not aware of. So I have to keep finding out what is the significance of whatever we are doing, but we have to continue doing it even if we do not understand at this moment. It is very important. This is called Kula Dharma, Sanatana. This sense of belonging is very important. It gives us an identity, and when we have that kind of a strong identity, it will protect us. It will give us that sense of self-esteem, which is again sometimes very, very, delicate. We are not able to maintain that often. Somebody, if let us say one person has only one aspect of his life as his identity, as per his understanding. Let us say he goes for a job, he is a manager in particular firm. Okay, so that his identity for himself, if it is only manager of in this firm, if that is the identity, the day of retirement will be the most painful for him, equivalent to death. Why? Because he doesn't have any other identity. No social identity, no family identity, no other identity, only this. And at the end of the day, it is only one part of my life and it has to end at some point. So I hang on to it. So even if I have to move out, I still go and visit. How is work going on? And people are looking at me, did you not retire? Yeah, I did, but I just came, just to check whether everything is fine. Since the day you left, it's not just fine, it is better. But we are not able to give that up. Any identity, it may not be just some professional thing, anything. If there is only one thing, but if we have something that is more stable, like a family identity, that is not going to be like a professional identity that will have an end at some point. I belong to this family since I was born, and I will be belonging to this family till I die. So that is going to be there. But that identity, when it becomes stronger, I am protected better. That dignity, that family values, they will protect me. Even if I am in a wrong company by mistake, I reach in a place where the influence is not that great, or sometimes influence is negative, even then I am able to withstand. I want to actually share a success story. This Kula Dharma is very important. One student, we have this Chinmaya International Residential School in Coimbatore, India. And one student who was studying there, he was there for a couple of years, I think. And his family was in the US. So after those 2 years of study in the school, he went back to his family. And typically, as teenagers are facing a situation there, he went into a group of friends, a peer group, where everyone was doing drugs. Now, it so happened that the entire group was picked up by the cops. They were arrested. And on interrogating, they found that this was the only guy who never touched drugs. He was just hanging around with them, that's all. He never touched. So because he was there with them, he was also arrested. And all the other friends also vouched for him and said, he is not involved, please release him. He's been just our friend, and as a friend he was just hanging out with us. There was nothing, he was not involved, he doesn't touch it also. Now when this came out into the media, people were very surprised because this is unheard of. And naturally some media persons went up to him to take his interview, etc. And the main question they had to ask was, belonging to a group of people who are doing drugs, how could you withstand that pressure? Because peer pressure, and that too in teenage, is not easy to withstand. How did you withstand, and how do you not touch it? Did you not even get a thought that, let me try or let me do something? Did you not get something like that? So as a reply to this, he said that when I was in school for a couple of years, they used to every day make me sit silently for 5 to 10 minutes every day, every single day. And we do it today also at school. So silently, eyes closed, and become more and more aware of myself, my family values, the culture that I belong to, all the exposure that I got in school about what I am, what is this Hindu culture, all these things. Those moments stayed with me even after school. And he says, because I had that very strong sense of belonging to the culture, belonging to my family, and that was so strong in me that I never even was tempted to try it out. I was very clear that this is not something that I would want, and I was very clear that none of my teachers, none of my parents, none of my people who I belong to would approve of it or would really appreciate it. I knew it very well, deep within. So I didn't have to put in effort to keep it away. It was very natural for me. That is Kula Dharma Sanatana. Holding on to that sense of belonging that comes due to certain core beliefs and practices is very important. So even if we do not understand why we are doing it, we continue doing it. Doesn't matter. We may try to understand it. If we understand, very good. If we don't, it's never mind. But we must continue doing it. This tradition will save us, protect us. And that's what Arjuna is saying. That if the entire family is destroyed, who will be there to follow these traditions? And if nobody is following those traditions, these traditions will discontinue forever. And if at all, even there are some children born after this, or the women of the household and all, they will not have that hold. They will not have that. Who do they belong to? What a family? Majority of the people have perished. What is going to happen to the rest of the society? So this point he is raising, it's a very, very important point for us also to ponder in our own lives. Kulakshaye pranashyanti Kula Dharmaha Sanatana. Dharma word means that which integrates. That which supports, that which integrates. The integrating factor is dharma. So when we have common beliefs, common practices, integrated. So all of us sitting here, we all have different backgrounds, we come to this place also from different directions, through using different modes of transport, everything. We have all gathered here. But now we have one thing in common, that we attend Gita class. That is the common thread here. So whenever we see each other at any other place, in any other occasion, in any other environment, sense of belonging. Oh, Gita class. Hari Om, Hari Om. Nobody needs to say anything. It just happens. Gita class, Gita class. So that integrating factor. So any such thing. Gurudev has taught us that whenever we meet each other, we greet each other with Hari Om. This is also an integrating factor. So anywhere, someplace we are there and suddenly somewhere we hear Hari Om. Who is there? Who is there? Somebody, mine. I may not have met that person before, but that word itself has that effect. This is what is that Kula Dharma. This is that. So that's why we say we stand as one family. What is this family? There are certain traditions we follow. Whenever we chant Guru Stotram, everyone is in that, chorus all together. Guru Stotram, that's a uniting factor. Wherever we go in the world, the same. So this integrating factor, this commonality, this sense of belonging, Kula Dharmaha Sanatanaha, long term. They didn't begin just like that. Somebody is fancy of someone's mind and just we said, let us start. Okay. No. So these are all so many things and we are slowly discovering the depth of these things. That's why earlier I said modern science is slowly catching up with the Vedas. So slowly modern science is realizing the depth of the Vedas and saying, oh, this is the reason. This is also one of the reasons. Okay. So all these various practices, they really help us, keep us together. That's why we stand as one family, bound to each other. With love and respect. And what is love? Commonality. That integrating factor. That is Kula Dharma. Kula Dharmaha Sanatanaha. And if these Kula Dharmas, Kulakshaye Pranashyanti Kula Dharma Sanatanaha Dharme Nashte. And if these dharma, these values, these traditions, these practices, these beliefs, they are destroyed, they cease to be in practice, they cease to be in vogue, then what happens? Kulam Kritsnam Adharmo bhi bhavatyuta. The entire Kula, the family, instead of dharma, adharma takes over. Now, if dharma is integrating factor, then what is adharma? It is disintegrating factor. That which breaks down everything. That's when we start looking at differences than commonalities. And there's no oneness. I am different. So if we look at society today, as we are slowly moving forward, I don't know whether we should call it forward or not, but chronologically we can say we are moving forward. Time-wise we are moving forward. We find that this concept of family only is slowly disintegrating. And it is slowly moving towards individual. Even if we are living in the same home, we live as individuals. There is no... And it is reflecting in our lifestyle. In that, we may have a common kitchen, let us. Okay, common kitchen, very good. That common kitchen also is a very important part of being a close-knit family. Okay, common kitchen. But if for these two people in the family don't like this particular vegetable, so we are making separate vegetable for them. And those two people have some other need, so we are making separate. So there will be 5 vegetables. How many members in the family? 4. Why? Individualistic living. It is not a family life. When we are family, whatever is made, everyone should eat. That's how it used to be. Now each one, oh, my little son does not like this, so I'll make separate for him. And then the elder daughter does not like this, for her it is this one, I will say. My husband does not like that, for him that is something. So everybody has something separate. This is food only. Then there is a TV in every room. Why? Just because we can afford it and just because we have space in the home does not mean we install a TV in every room. Why? Because 4 people and in 4 rooms they are watching 4 different programs on this 4 different TVs. Why? So individual life, there is no sense of belonging. Earlier there used to be one TV, one channel and one timing. Everyone will come and sit and we'll watch. Whatever comes there, we have to choicelessly watch. I still remember sometimes there used to be program on agriculture. And we as children used to sit and we won't understand a thing. Program on agriculture, this kind of fertilizers are used and don't use this kind of pesticides. Some farmer is talking and we are sitting and watching because that's all that is available. But the whole family is together watching it. So how does it matter? It is the togetherness that matters. So when this concept of family only is breaking down, we can appreciate this is Kula Dharma. This is a very, very important aspect. So we can choose to bring things back to this Kula Dharmaha, Sanatanaha. Certain basic things, certain basic practices, if we continue. And when such practice, even if we have discontinued for a while because of some misunderstanding, some reason, some incapacity to follow, whatever, but if we determine today and we decide to continue it today also, that instantly we get connected to that. Oh, in childhood I used to do this. Don't we do that? No, when we eat something that we have eaten only in childhood and for so many years we have never eaten, and suddenly we put that into our mouth. I remember my grandmother. Does that not happen? Exactly, this tradition has this effect that I immediately, and when I remember my grandmother in this manner, will I do things that will displease her or that will be below the dignity of being her grandson? No, never. It is only I forget that oneness when I fall, when I become, when I separate myself, disjoin myself, and then there is no end to that fall. So we can think of this and try and restore some of the practices in our individual lives, in our family lives. It is a very, very important point that Arjuna has brought up here. We'll talk more about this on Monday. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.